Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we're going to do a kind of speculatory should you pull. So we do have a new banner dropping on the 11th. It'll actually be the evening of the 10th, which right now it is the 9th. So like tomorrow night we got something coming, right? I'm doing this a little bit later than usual just because I was kind of waiting, hoping to get some breadcrumbs or some tidbits as to what's happening, but there hasn't been anything found in the data yet. We really don't know what this is going to be. So I'm going to base this off of what I think it will be. So this is the Dimensions End Reprise banner. Now, Reprise actually dropped on the 8th, which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to drop on the 11th here, as this slide is showing. But on this slide, it says we are getting new and returning BTs and FRs. Okay. So what I think is going to happen here is I think it's going to be Auron, right? So in this, I've been talking about this for a while. So what there was an Auron and Neon banner. So I don't think the banner is going to look like this, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. But I was actually going to record this video last night, and then I got a little discouraged because I went on Dissidia Compendium to look up Auron's kit, and I saw that they have like synergies for upcoming characters. And so actually, just as a side tidbit, it is kind of confirmed that Jihl is coming on the 24th, the night of the 23rd, for that Mystery Lost chapter. It's going to be Jihl and Pain, because Dissidia Compendium is showing them as boosted on those dates. So there's soft confirmation that Jihl is actually the character coming. I'm not going to do her should you pull right now, but we'll talk about that one later on. But back to Auron here, right? Now, the reason why I don't think these banners will be the same, I think this is just going to be a special campaign banner, which would just be like a 2-character banner. So what I think it'll be is it'll just be Auron smashed together with another Echo BT character on the same banner, right? Now, what they could do is they could just do Auron and Neon together and then just not have the side units. So I'm not going to talk about the side units because I honestly don't think they'll be there. I think it'll just be one banner with 2 characters with FRs, BTs. And I think the side character with Auron will be an Echo character because that's kind of what they've been doing. Like Cloud was with Edgar as an example, right? So I think it'll be something very much in that style. So I think the most likely option is that it would just be Auron and Neon because it's here. But as we saw with Edgar, they could just toss anybody on, right? So there are a few characters that were on campaigns that would be kind of in this time slot that we haven't seen yet. So there's Zack, Warrior of Light, and Sarah. So Zack, Warrior of Light, and Sarah, I think, could be other potential options, or Neon, right? So what I'm going to do for this should you pull is I think I'm going to just strictly talk about Auron because really whoever they drop with him is just going to be a rerun character, and we really don't know who it's going to be, right? So let's focus on Auron. Auron is a character I'm very excited for. So he is, if you're not familiar, he is a cover tank character. So what he will do is when single target attacks come in, he will cover and block the damage, and then he will do counter attacks, which is really the most notable thing about his kit. He also is a fairly potent debuffer. He does have some really nice debuffs, including a very unique melee imperil. So this is a weapon damage type imperil, right? And actually, you know what? I feel like them bringing back Edgar is almost a hint that it's going to be Auron. I just thought of this right now because Auron's FR, he has a very good off-turn FR. Basically, he will get 10% off turn. He does 20% just if the enemy takes a turn. And then other allies can get 5% off turn, but they have to be doing weapon weakness damage, right? And so that's making me think, well, maybe they're trying to pair Edgar with Auron. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. Because Auron, he will provide melee imperil, right? But if you want to bring ranged or melee damage, like they won't actually tick. Unless the enemies are in peril to those weapon types. Well, Edgar does that. So that I actually just thought of as a very interesting little tidbit there. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that I think Auron will be here. But once again, the structure of the banner, I think will be like just the 2-person banner. I really can't tell you who the second one is other than those 4 characters I suggested, right? I think it's probably going to be one of them. So then Auron, his BT... It has a, it's got like nice BT auras, like typical things like that, right? But it is a stacking BT, and it gains stacks every time he attacks or counterattacks. Like anytime he hits an enemy, it's going to go up. And then when it gets to 3 stacks, he's going to get a very powerful HP plus attack with 7 HP dumps. So what the BT does for Auron, I'm going to say this, his BT actually isn't required. Like I think him just being a counter tank, because right now like LD only, like these counter tank characters are still very viable just because of the way their kit operates, right? So I think getting Auron, even if you just get his FR, like him just having Echo is such a boon, like such a good thing for a counter tank. Because a lot of these traditional counter tanks like Gladio, like they don't have that yet. So just the fact that Auron is getting that, I think is very good. And then I would say the BT is nice if you just want the extra auras. And if you want Auron to be churning out actually decent on-turn damage. Because kind of the typical thing with these counter tank characters is their on-turn damage isn't fantastic. But they're doing so many counters, they out-damage like most characters in the game, right? So they don't need on-turn damage. Well, Auron now can actually get on-turn damage if you want to, right? So should you pull for Auron or not? Once again, I don't think everybody has to pull him, and I don't think everybody needs to skip him either. He's going to be kind of in between. What I'm going to say is, one is look at your play style and the types of teams you like to play. What I'm going to say is if you're someone that's planning to get and play Reno, Auron is almost a must pull. And so I am going to go all in on Auron. I want BTFR. I may actually gem him, actually, because I want him that bad, and I want to abuse him with Reno's BT. So I think that's going to be a really fun team comp. So if you like the off-turn style strategies, Auron's really good. Now, the other situation I think Auron is kind of a must pull is if you're a player that's either newer or returning and you do not have a good tank. If you are lacking a tank, period, I think you need to grab this guy. Tanks are such an important part of this game. They're really good for helping you with very difficult fights. That's the other situation that I would think he's kind of a must pull. Now, if you're a veteran player and you've got a wide roster, you can really choose if you want Auron or not. But to me, this is kind of like the first like real premium tank, counter tank character that has Echo, right? Like we've got Warrior of Light. He's a really good premium tank that has Echo. But this, I think, is the first premium, like, nice counter tank character with Echo. I think he's going to be a really nice get. These characters age ridiculously well. Like I said, Auron right now, like LD only, is still usable. So the fact that he's getting an upgrade is just going to extend his longevity even further. He's going to have Echo. I think Auron is a fantastic, great character. Now, this month is very loaded, so I know not everybody can go in and get him. So like I said, if you don't have a tank at all, I definitely think you should try to get him. And if you're going to be playing Reno, you definitely need to try and get him. But otherwise, it's going to kind of be up to you. So let me know what you guys are going to do. I think I'm going to go in for gems and just get this guy done. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.